next with our next comedian. I'm really excited to introduce him. Everyone put your hands together for the absolutely awesome Pete Sakaris.
Woo!
Thank you very much. My name's Pete, and I was really dragging at work today. Guys, huh? Yeah, but anyway, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. The world will soon celebrate Cerebral Palsy Awareness Day, and I have cerebral palsy, so I'm very aware of it. It's a brain disorder that affects the muscles. It mostly affects my lower extremities. Hi-oh. No wonder I walk with a limp. Wink. It affects my hand gestures too, like I can't tell someone peace without looking all alien-like.
Mm.
And I can't flip someone off without looking like I'm going to stab them. But on the plus side, having cerebral palsy means that I never get offended when someone says, "Hey, what are you getting all bent out of shape for?" And I'm like, oh, no reason. I was just born that way. You ever get reminders from the universe of where you're at in life, whether you want to or not? Like, I was in the frozen pizza aisle recently. I picked one out and it said right on the box, and I'm not making this up, "I'm single." And I just looked at it and I went, "Me too, pizza. Me too." But I am single. That's about the reaction that deserves. And a lot of factors went into my last breakup, but one of them had to be my OCD, because she'd be like, "Baby, when we finally do have sex, you're going to be amazing. It's going to be great. We're going to do it like 7 times." And I was like, "Oh, that's an odd number. I love you to death, but can we just bump it up to 8? I turned 34 this year, and there's been a lot of differences in that change and coming of age and all that. Whereas if 24-year-old me went in to get a massage from a hot chick, at the end of it, he'd be like, was it as good for you as it was for me? But 34-year-old me goes in to get a massage from a hot chick, and at the end, he's like, can you make it so that I won't have a copay next time? And especially in these times of COVID, we're all romanticizing the idea of isolation and rock bottom. And I don't think I've reached rock bottom yet, unless the idea of rock bottom is making something in an air fryer and eating it out of the air fryer bucket, like the true wild boy that I am. But anyway, I went to a community college, so I guess you could say I reached for the sky's limit. And our mascot was called the Reavers, and it was a type of pirate that caused trouble, vandalized, and destroyed everywhere they went. They got drunk and partied the whole way there and whole way back. And I was like, well, we're in college, so that makes a lot of sense. And the college is in Iowa, so that makes even more sense. But they sure did go through a lot of PBR. Yeah, that was a stupid one. And I like how naive my mom can be sometimes. Like, she tries to say all the cool things kids are saying these days. Like, one night she dropped me off at my place. She looked at me and goes, "So what's on your bucket list for tonight?" And I looked at her and I just went, "Living, Ma, living." I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs, but this one time, my friends made me take a shot of an unholy concoction known as Rumplemints, and it was disgusting. It tasted like Altoids and fascism. And this comedian told me one time, he was like, "Dude, you should smoke weed." And he followed it up with, "It would cure your cerebral palsy." And I said, well, there is no cure, so all that marijuana isn't going to do anything. And I've never done drugs, so the only tripping I do is over my own feet. Glad, Simmer, you're with me on that one. And I'm involved with local professional wrestling in the Midwest where I'm from as a ring announcer. And I've had a lot of weird experiences on these local wrestling shows, much like local comedy. Like I've been on shows where the concession stand was literally a woman handing out gum. I've been on shows where the booming sound system was a microphone held up to a boombox. And I've been on shows where someone forgot their ring bell, so I actually had to go ding ding into the mic. And I'm still reeling off the adrenaline of refereeing a wrestling show in Milo, Iowa, a town of less than 1,000 people. And you know you're working in a small town when the bar across the street from the venue has a one-man, one-legged band doing AC/DC covers. I'm a little disappointed he wasn't called Thunder Stump, but what are you going to do? And in these times of COVID, we're all trying to reinvent ourselves. And I initially thought that the rapper Mystical would come out with a reimagining of his hit single, something like, wear your mask, but watch your health, wear your mask, show me how you distance in. And sadly, it wasn't to be. But then the rapper Juvenile came out with a reimagining of his single called Vax That Ass Up. So I guess the universe heard me on that one. I'm moving from an apartment into a house, and I lived in my apartment for 10 years, and that sheltered, sort of solitary, insular lifestyle affected my ways, especially in conversations with people, because they'd be like, oh man, we had so much fun. We went out and partied. We caused kind of trouble. Oh, we don't even remember what we did last night. What's up with you? And I'm like, the mail came a little later today than usual. And my beard is somewhat maintained, but it's been out of control lately. And I've noticed that whenever I have a well-maintained beard or if I'm clean shaven, I love change. I appreciate change. I'm so desperate for change. But when my beard's out of control, I'm desperate for change. Appreciate some change. Desperate for change. And we're trying to do everything we can to amuse ourselves in these uncertain times. And the old trope is to take a Chinese fortune and add in bed to the end of it, no matter what it says. So one time my fortune said, you will be sought after for your diplomatic skills in bed. And that just makes me want to go up to a girl and be like, hey girl, let's me and you turn out the lights, get under these covers and rectify these foreign trade agreements. Yeah, you gotta amuse yourself. And I'll end on this. Has anybody here ever worked in a call center or customer service?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked in a call center for 12 years and still managed to maintain my sanity. And I found out pretty quick that you know you've worked in a call center for way too long when a girl hugs you and the first thing out of your mouth is, thank you for holding me. And it came in handy whenever I got in an argument with somebody because they'd be yelling at me, cussing up a storm, and I'd be like, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Please try again. And I thought nothing of it until I had a girl in bed with me, and that's not the joke. But let's not kid ourselves. I mean, I'm sharp as a tack, fully vaxxed, and tasty like a snack. But we're laying there, we're making out, things are starting to progress, it's getting hot and heavy, it's about to go down. And all of a sudden I panicked and went, before we continue, I must advise you that for quality purposes, this sex may be monitored or recorded. I'm Pete Sakaris. Donate, don't hate. You guys have been great.
Thank you so much, Pete. You were awesome. Hey, we're moving along and we've got a very, very delectable special treat